we all want somebody. That's here nor there, right? But when you get to a point where you feel like you got to compromise your morals and values just to be in a relationship, that's no good. In episode number 179 of Making Case, we talking about signs that you may be settling for a relationship. Let's get it. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Making the Case. I'm your host, Dr. Jacob Isom. We got two channel norms over here. One, we'll take points in our people. Then two, we don't do all that cussing and derogatory stuff because we like to keep it professional over here. All right. Hey, we're talking about signs that you may be selling in a relationship. Now, let me make a clear distinction. Okay. So I want us all to be on the same page. I am not talking about selling in terms of I really wanted a 6'2" man, but I sell for 5'11. Or you know what? I really want a lawyer, but I'll settle for a paralegal. I'm not talking about settling in that regard, right? Because that's superficial. And I will say this, that's the reason why a lot of us find ourselves in the situation we're in, because we only looking at things from surface level, right? When we're trying to get into a relationship and get with somebody, we should be looking for qualities, character, personality. Okay. What are their morals and values, as I said from the introduction of this video, right? So that is what I mean when it comes to in terms of selling, right? You shouldn't compromise your morals, your values, things that you know that will bring y'all into alignment so that you know that there will be a long-term situation that will foster down the road. Okay. That is what I mean by selling. Okay. Sometimes we'll, be like, well, I can fix them, or I can mold them into what I want to be. Not okay. That is the problem. When you want to take on a project, oftentimes you end up seeing that that project does not pan out. Okay. And then you get traumatized, and then you want to be in your feelings and then start blaming them. Well, really, probably should be blaming yourself. All right. So I have some clips that we're going to get into today that's going to be addressing selling. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into our first clip.
Settling and being realistic. Great question. And your girl got an answer for you. So let's get into it, family. Settling is often driven by fear. And family, fear should not be motivating you to do anything. But I digress. There's a fear that you won't find nobody else, or a fear that this may be the best that you can do. When settling, people tend to tolerate aspects of the relationship that they really just don't like because they don't believe that they can do better. This mindset reflects a limiting belief system. Someone does not believe that they are deserving of better. Being realistic, however, is accepting that relationships are imperfect, that it's two imperfect people coming together. It requires effort, compromise, and a lot of understanding. Realism involves a balance, acknowledging your partner's flaws, acknowledging your own flaws, and the natural imperfections of a relationship without sacrificing who you are, your core values, or what you know you need. Here's the challenge. Challenge lies in recognizing whether dissatisfaction stems from unreasonable and unrealistic expectations, or if you're truly sacrificing too much. What's the difference between settling?
I wouldn't disagree with anything she said. I do think there's a difference between being realistic and between selling, right? Like she said, if you're a person that are realistic, you understand that you come into a relationship with flaws, that other person comes into a relationship with flaws, right? And your job is to work things out, compromise, talk things out, etc. Right? But if you're coming to a situation thinking that, you know what, I'm going to put up with this because you know what, everybody probably do this, or most people probably do this. And depending on what it is, right? Context matters. Um, it may be true, it may not be true, but the difference is it's certain things that you should have, it's standards that you should have to say, hey, I know this is best for me when it comes to a relationship. This is how I feel safe. This is how I feel comfortable, etc. Right. So there is a difference. So I wouldn't disagree with what she said. Let's move on to the next clip.
Settling in your relationship. Number one, and a huge one that a lot of you guys are guilty of, is when you start ignoring your deal breakers. And all of you know exactly who I'm talking to. The ones that are always like, oh, you cheat on me, it's completely done. You disrespect me, it's completely over. If you lie to me, we're through, right? And you look up and you're still there. To where you're indirectly settling for less than what your standards require. Number two, constant comparisons. Who out there has caught themselves lately or in the past or consistently comparing your partner to other people in a way that might say someone else might be a better fit for you? You catch yourself daydreaming a little bit longer about that person that's not in your life versus the one that is. Or you find yourself gossiping to your friends about, oh, how much you wish your partner was this kind of a way. Big signs you're settling. Number three, unfulfilled aspirations. Remember all those goals and dreams you had that you put on the back burner to make your partner happy? Flags on the play. To where you're slowly becoming less and less happy every day, more and more depressed because you're not doing the things that fills your glass up because you're settling. 5 signs you're settling in your relationship. Number one.
I don't think he went through all 5 signs, but that's neither here nor there. I wouldn't disagree. I do believe that yeah, these are definitely telltale signs that you're selling, right? When you're putting things on the back burner for somebody else, right? Instead of going after what you truly want. When you comparing them to somebody else, I wouldn't say that's selling. I would say that's just an unfair um diagnosis of what and people do this a lot of times on social media, right? They'll see things on social media, or even better, they'll see relationships in their family or their friendships, and that's when they start comparing because they're like, man, why doesn't my man or my husband do what my friend husband does or my auntie husband does? That's a lot of time when you get in trouble. I don't think that's selling though. I think that that's really just an unrealistic expectation to think that somebody else is supposed to have all the traits, because what people are doing is they're combining all the traits that they would like to have in their person, and then they combine them together and be like, man, this will be the perfect person, right? And it's just unfair expectation, right? So in that sense, I don't think it's selling. I just think it's unrealistic expectation. All right, let's get into the next clip.
That you are settling for less just because you're in a relationship or in a marriage. Number one, talking to them is not your favorite part of the day and you hate going home. You just work 10, 20, 30-hour shift. You go home, you sit in the driveway for hours. You'll back out the driveway. You'll go to your cousin's house, family member's house, friend's house, the bar, drive around your neighborhood, drive around your city because he or she is in that house and you do not like going there because they're in the house. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're struggling with that right there, that person is a distraction to you. And that's a person that you shouldn't even be with, because if you don't have peace in your own home, you don't have a home. Number two, you're putting your life on hold, hoping and praying that they change. I talk about this a lot. People don't change for people. You can't change him. You can't change her. You tried for years to change him, change her, putting your life on the back burner, waiting for them to change, and year after year has went by. Money will come and go. Right? A male or female will come and go. But 5 minutes ago, you don't get that back. You're wasting good years on bad fruit. Stop hoping for change. The Bible says hope deferred, making the heart sick. That person is not going to change for you. Number three, your relationship or your marriage is no longer fulfilling. The passion is gone. Oh boy, being with them is a whole job. Being with them is a chore. The passion is gone. The thrill is gone. You hate being with them. Things are mundane to you now. You're screaming on the inside because you're ready to just break out and you have no idea what to do with yourself because this individual who you're with, they bled you dry. And your emotions, your finances, your spirit, etc. It's time for you to go. When the thrill is gone, you should be too. Number four, you're bending your boundaries and your convictions, giving them permission to disrespect you. Now you're settling. Anytime you settle, you are in agreement with whatever they do to you because you won't go. Nobody can do whatever they want to do to you and get away with it unless you condone it. Well, how do you condone it? Because you didn't walk away. What you allow, you condone, and what you condone, you encourage. You're encouraging that behavior because you think that this is okay with you since you're settling for the less. Well, at least he don't cheat on me like my ex did, but he still abused you. Well, at least she don't try to get me for my money like my ex did, but she talked to other men. You are accepting disrespect and you're settling for the latter. You're still in prison. And number 5, your self-esteem is shot. You don't believe in yourself anymore. You don't know who you are anymore.
All right. And at least he did go over 5, right? I wouldn't call this selling for less. More so, a lot of what he said has something to do about the individual and themselves. When he talking about low self-esteem, now I'll give him the boundaries part, right? That's when you're selling. But when you talking about like sitting in the driveway because you don't want to go home, right? That is more so signs of not building a foundation for a relationship, right? And yes, there's going to be a point in every relationship where you have to kind of, change some things up. You got to reassess what is going on in your relationship. But a lot of what he's mentioned is just things that are just going to go on in a relationship. And I wouldn't say that it's settling, just more so that, hey, if you're going to be in a long-term relationship or marriage, these are just some of the things that are just going to happen. And you're going to have to deal with it. And hopefully 2 individuals come together and they can problem solve. They understand how to conflict resolve and things of that nature. So I got one more clip. Let's get into it.
One know if they're settling.
Settling occurs when you are entering or staying in a relationship that you would strongly advise your daughter or son not to. Now, if you're the parent who thinks no one's going to be good enough for my kid, that like a lot of these Persian parents, that's a different story, right? But generally speaking, if your son or daughter came to you and they said, listen, I'm in this relationship, the guy smokes weed all day long and he has a really horrible temper and he never goes to the gym and I'm not even actually sure what he does for work, and you're staying in that relationship because you love this person, that's a settle.
How does one know?
I wouldn't disagree, right? So those are some good specific example of what selling looks like, right? It's going against your morals, your value, your standards, and what you actually want in your life, right? And I oftentimes say, well, if I don't, for me, I can only speak for me. The reason why I don't do certain things and never did certain things in front of my own kids because I understand that not only am I their parent, I'm their role model, right? I'm supposed to model behavior that I want to see in them, right? And it's the same thing when it comes to a relationship, right? Well, I want the person that I'm with to reflect the person that I am, right? So if I don't smoke, well, more than likely, I probably should pick somebody that doesn't smoke. If I have a certain standard, then I want that other person to match because alignment, yin and yang, right? So to me, and this was a perfect video to end off of, that is selling, right? Knowing that you don't enjoy something, you don't like something, right? And you're putting up with it because you like how somebody look or you like how much money they make and stuff like that. That's selling. All right. Hey, I thought this was a good conversation. I don't know about what say you. All right. So let me know in the comments. What do you think? Have you settled before? I'm sure you have. Is there any signs that we miss when it comes to settling? Let me know in the comments. All right. Like, share the video, do all that good stuff. All right. But as always, I'm you, you are me. Love always, love eternal. Remember, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And we out. Deuces. One love.